Those in law enforcement are among the groups with strong opinions about legalizing medical marijuana. Supporters elevate it to the level of a miracle drug, abating a range of symptoms from PTSD to cancer, they say. But critics argue against marijuana as medicine and view it as a gateway to more dangerous drugs. Proponents were looking for House Bill 166 that sets up a framework for medical marijuana in Kentucky to get a vote in committee this week, but that didn't happen. They rallied yesterday in the state capitol rotunda and told stories of how medical marijuana has helped them. Take a look.
21 veterans in Kentucky to date from the first of the year have taken their lives. 104 veterans will take their life this year in the state of Kentucky. 104. We're here to save lives. We're not here to deal drugs. We're here to heal.
I have stage 3 brain cancer. They told me I'm incurable. I've been doing cannabis oil for about 9 months now. My tumor and the size of it is probably 75% smaller. I get to go to work every day. I get to play with my kids. I get to spend time with my family. Without cannabis oil, I am very confident of saying I would not be here. I don't want to take Percocets. I don't want to take Ativan. I don't want to take Dilaudid, and I'm not going to. I'm just going to take a plant that's grown out of the earth that is saving my life for the rest of my life. Thank you.
The idea that cannabis is a gateway drug is its most significant stereotype. While no evidence exists to prove this assumption, it is perpetuated as though it is a fact. Truth is, the legal nature of cannabis forces individuals into the black market to purchase this product. And it is a result of these interactions with dealers that exposes individuals to more profitable addictive substances.
House Bill 166 has had several hours of testimony but is still waiting for a committee vote. Those behind the bill say revisions on the measure have been made in recent days to tighten up the qualifying conditions for medical marijuana, added funding for research for driving under the influence of marijuana, and added language to help fund the public pension system. On a recent edition of Kentucky Tonight, we talked to both sides about the matter.
Where are the deaths from marijuana? We arrest 15,000 people a year here in Kentucky. Obviously, those aren't all medicinal, but is there a death related directly to marijuana? And no one can ever say that because there is none.
The federal government drags their feet on
Right.
it. So, since I've came out about this bill, I've had hundreds of stories, personal stories, told to me from folks. We were at this, we were doing this, taking this, and we tried this, and it made a difference.
But opponents believe the harms aren't completely known yet and favor a more cautious approach.
It's a drug. Without knowing better background science behind the medications, I think it's Russian roulette to just introduce it on the global market and just hope that the right patients get it and the wrong ones don't.
When I talk to recovering heroin addicts, they often tell me that their gateway drug, their first drug of use, was marijuana.
Many law enforcement entities, including the Kentucky Narcotics Officers Association, are opposed to medical marijuana.
We recognize that amongst the 100-plus cannabinoids that exist that make up marijuana, that there is potentially something there that can help somebody with a debilitating illness or a sickness. And we realize that ultimately, for something to be considered to be a drug, to be dispensed as a drug, is that it should follow every other drug that's out there ultimately and go through the vetting process that's in place that's utilized by the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA.
One of their biggest concerns is the impact on youth.
Right now, in our country, we are facing the largest opioid epidemic and drug abuse problem that we've ever seen. And why add to something, especially in our heartland of the Commonwealth, by adding something else in marijuana? Ultimately, our future, being our youth, is who we're going to leave everything to. And those are going to be the ones going forward. And if we take a step down the road that we can't take a step back, then ultimately what we're doing is we're hurting our youth.
You can see the entire conversation about medical marijuana from that Kentucky Tonight episode online at ket.org/KY Tonight. And visit our Legislative Extras page for more coverage on that issue.